It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm here with Shaq and the Jet. Tonight, it'll be the Brooklyn Nets going up against the... Well, for San Antonio, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. Tonight, the fans getting a chance to enjoy watching Tony Parker, who came into the league as a speedster point guard, but now as a veteran, Kenny, he's evolved into just one of the best team leaders on the floor.
Unbelievable that he still has the same amount of speed at his age that he does now. I mean, and then the floater. He's probably the best in the last decade at shooting that shot. Used to be called a runner, now it's a floater, but he's the best at it.
Yes, he's the best at the floor. Not really a great shooter, but an efficient shooter. Career field goal percentage under 50%. I agree, Kenny, with everything you said. Guy still has a lot of speed.
Oh, I appreciate you, Shaq.
Très bien, mes amis. That's French for here's Kevin Harlan.
No, it isn't.
Only French I know is fries.
Or toast.
$18,000 fans in a chorus here in Brooklyn. We've got San Antonio taking on the Brooklyn Nets. And get ready for another dose of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, and here with me tonight, Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. And so off the tip, it's Brooklyn. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for San Antonio, the always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Aldridge out there with Duncan, and it's Leonard in at the three slot. And for Brook Lopez, disappointing start to last season. The season before, he had played only 17 games, so he wanted to make an impact right off the bat. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, you know, he missed the first two games altogether with the foot injury and comes back to play pretty well, then hurts his back. Out for 8 more games, comes back again. He's benched in favor of Miles Plumlee. Just a very disjointed year for Lopez.
And for Lopez, last year was the first time since he was a rookie that he didn't start every game. I mean, that is a huge shot to your confidence. I don't care who you are or what your circumstances, but you know what? At the end, he rose above it.
And he makes the first but misses the second.
You know, on the topic of Lopez last season, ugly beginning, but things got beautiful over the last 2 months. 55% shooting, nearly 20 and 10 a game, some of the best numbers of his career.
Now here's Parker to the wing on the left. Baseline jumper. No good. Good defensive work there by Young. San Antonio on defense. Let's now go to Doris Burke over across the way, who spoke with Lionel Hollins, and Doris, take it away.
He talked about the respect he has for the game of LaMarcus Aldridge and how tough it will be for them to slow him down, saying Aldridge is tough because he can score facing up or with his back to the basket. And with his length, it's tough to bother his shot. We'll look to deny him the ball when we can and just try to make it as hard as possible every touch. Kevin, will see how successful they are.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Young, following the basket by Tim Duncan. Good.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter, just served him up.
Jack against Parker. Fires at the elbow. The shot is off, so Brooklyn will take it the other way. Johnson kicks to Jack. Pass to Young. Launches a three. Green with the rebound.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Green, the screen, too long in the paint, and he's hit with a 3-second violation. Well, you've got Greg Popovich, and I think he puts this at times grumpy demeanor in a more of a spotlight. He's playing along, as we all know, with the sideline reporters. He knows, Greg, you know this firsthand, when to turn it on, when to turn it off. He can be as compassionate a person, Clark, that you and I have ever been around.
Yeah, he's competitive, but he understands that we're all human, and he treats people the right way all the time.
And that one misses. Nets were pretty far back from relevance at times last season, as we saw. It took a late season hot streak for them, Greg, to get into the playoff picture.
Yeah, and that was a neck-and-neck race with the Pacers right till the very end. Not exactly what they had in mind at the start of the season, but they did pull through.
For Brooklyn, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. And Jack kicks to Brown. Lopez sets a screen for Brown. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
And, you know, for the Nets, they ended up being bounced out of the first round, fell to the #1 seed Hawks. They put up a good fight against Atlanta and made the series interesting, but still came up short.
Now, here's Green. Lopez with the steal. Johnson kicks to Jack from about 19 feet. It's rebounded by Aldridge.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. No clue how he got that one to fall.
And that was not a soft foul he had to get through, Greg. I mean, he had to really power that one up and in.
And for the Nets in the postseason, they did have a good showing despite that early exit. Many people expected the Hawks to sweep, but they took them to 6 games and capped what was an interesting year for Brooklyn overall. Well, you know that Kawhi Leonard has an incredible reach with his arms, but even his hands are just massive, measured at 10 inches long and 11 inches wide. Wow.
And a fast break now for the Spurs. Spurs working the ball around now. And no good. And a chance to take the lead. Well, to give some perspective on Leonard's hand size that Greg was talking about, Clark, those measurements, 11 by 10, are what you typically would find on 7-footers. Well, this kid's 6'6", 6'7".
Yeah, and I'm 6'9", and I'm about 9 by 7, okay? So that just lets you know.
Wow.
The only other hands comparable to that, Dr. J.
Ooh, yes, huge. Brooklyn's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Young passes to Jack. Goes up at the stripe. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending it.
Lopez with the block. And now in transition is Jack. Here we go. Here's Brown. Duncan with the block. They recover it. Johnson, good.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass.
All right, now, I want everyone here at the Barclays Center to welcome to the court, Go Nets dancers. A new group in for the Nets. Margnani is checked in for Lopez. Robinson comes in for Young. Bogdanovich is checked in for Joe Johnson. And Ellington is subbed in for Markel Brown. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. West is checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Otto Ginobili's checked in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. No good from West.
And that was a difficult shot from mid-range simply because the defense was engaged.
Yeah, and I think the quickness of the closeout really threw him off.
Check. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's going to be on David West.
Yeah, the defender all over.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
The Nets shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
And a season ago, they hit about 75% of their free throws.
The first one falls. And Jack drops them both.
He's always been extremely reliable at the line, and today's been no different.
Spurs trail by 6. And here's Mills. He dishes it to Diaw. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Yeah, heard the whistle and then kept his focus and able to still knock it down.
And, Greg, to be able to take the bump like that and maintain control, that's not easy to do. I know you're kind of a little fella, but I was a big guy when I played, so I know how difficult that is. That was impressive.
I see.
Fellas, you look at Boris Diaw and say, my goodness, if he could just get in better shape. But he uses every bit of that significant backside of his to his advantage. Opponents can't get through him or around him, so he's making good use of the extra LBs.
Picked by Bargnani. And Jack kicks to Bogdanovich. Three-pointer Ellington. Rebound San Antonio. Here's Mills. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Mills has got his first bucket in this one.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Now here is Jack. Here's Ellington. And again, no good by Brooklyn. 17 seconds left to play in the first. Ginobili outside. Passes it to Diaw. Takes a 3. The shot misses. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Nets lead by 1. And back in a moment as we'll get underway with quarter number 2. And the ageless one, Tim Duncan, just a remarkable career. His teammate Tony Parker talked about playing alongside truly one of the all-time great players.
It's unbelievable. Like, especially a big guy, you know, with all that pounding and his knee. It's just amazing.
It's both unbelievable and amazing, you'd have to agree, talking about Tim Duncan and how he, Greg, continues to stay near the top of his game.
You know, Kevin, they say nobody has ever defeated Father Time. But, you know what, there have been a couple of bigs that you'd have to see are the exceptions. Kareem being one, and then obviously now what Tim Duncan has been able to do over the course of his career. Just unbelievable.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And, guys, what stands out to you from the Nets in this one?
Right from the start, they have been able to really own that paint and just dominate the backboard.
Well, Greg, you can't dominate the boards unless all 5 guys are making the effort to box out and chase down the ball.
Young is out there with Brook Lopez. Then there's Johnson. Then there's Wayne Ellington. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 2 spot. That's the Nets 5 as we get into the second quarter. Markel Brown, he's checked in for Bogdanovich. And San Antonio also making a switch. Duncan, he's checked in for Boris Diaw. San Antonio leading. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though, although had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
Now here's Green. Thaddeus Young missing his last shot. Fades. Uses the glass that time, and it's good. And the Spurs lead by 4.
And sometimes you just can't get around your defender there. You got to hit him with that hot top fade.
And against the Clippers, the Spurs didn't have home court advantage. I mean, ended up playing a big part in that series. They ended up losing in Game 7 in Staples with some questionable timekeeping, but that's not why they lost.
Parker up top. Ellington defending. Off the screen. And that one's good. Parker's got the lead up to 4 now for the Spurs.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
And that one's good by Lopez.
And that Spurs series sure didn't feel like a first-round matchup. I mean, you could have easily have seen either team playing for the title, regardless of who won the series. Both teams acknowledge that it felt like a conference finals matchup.
Here's Ginobili following the basket by Brook Lopez. Parker's shot is off.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
Brown dishes to Johnson. Deflects the pass. Ginobili with the steal. Floats one up. Ellington grabs the miss.
Terrific job that time defending at the rim. I mean, it's not an easy task stopping that fella when he's headed to the bucket like that. Good job.
Now here's Johnson. He has 6. Screened by Young. Brown the pass to Young. 5 to shoot. And it's sent back by Aldridge. In transition, here come the Spurs. Ginobili leading the charge. Rejected by Young. And for those of you just joining us in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Goes back up, and it's Lopez. That time on the assist by Johnson. Lopez has got the game tied up here for Brooklyn. The Spurs have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting. His rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
Jarrett Jack is checked in for Brooklyn. San Antonio also making some changes. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. Leonard comes in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Green. Tipped away. Here's Aldridge. Spurs working the ball around now. Leonard attacking. Buries it down low. Leonard's got 5 now.
And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound. And that's not nearly the kind of defense that's going to prevent a player of his ability from scoring.
Parker against Jack. To the paint. And it's sent back by Lopez.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
I certainly do. You know, I like to see guys do their work inside. Their rebounding has been excellent, and that's always important in a close game. That's what I call a captivating move there. He absolutely incinerated the D with that one.
And Parker, here we go. Count that one.
The defender was spinning around like an agitator in a washing machine after that crossover.
I think you're right. Looks a little bit dizzy after that one.
So for the Nets, Bargnani is checked in for Lopez. Thomas Robinson comes in for Johnson. And it's Bogdanovich in for Brown. Boris Diaw's checked in for San Antonio.
And Tony Parker, at least some of his success can be attributed to playing with talented bigs. I mean, in his rookie season, he plays with both the Admiral and Tim Duncan. He kept that partnership going with Duncan for several more championships. So while talented, he's also been very fortunate.
Here's Jack. Again, the Nets for two.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
Jack against Parker. Robinson with the block. In transition, here come the Nets. Here's Bogdanovich, and it's blocked. Parker against Jack. Well, talking about Parker and the bigs, Tony benefited from their presence, Clark, but they also benefited from his play.
Really, early in their careers, the only way to defend Parker and Duncan was to pack the lane, and once Tony developed a consistent jump shot, the only way to defend them was to hope and pray.
Right.
Shooting two. Shooting two.
And the first one drops. You have to love the newest stadium in the NBA here at Barclays. Very state-of-the-art, outstanding facility.
Yeah, the Nets have a nice home here. I bet they wish they were stronger here at home. Finished under 500 last season with a record of 19-22.
And, you know, guys, that 19-22 record here in Brooklyn certainly a stain for the Nets. I mean, they would be the only team to make the playoffs in the NBA last year with a losing record at home.
And with the Nets' struggles at home last season, they were simply outshot in this building. Also, they were the second worst in rebound differential at home, meaning they got killed on the glass here.
The Nets have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point. And he makes the first.
You know, you take a look at this group of Spurs and you wonder if they've peaked. I mean, it seems you say that a lot with this team, and they prove you wrong. What Popovich said last year, he feels it might actually be the case.
And Jack drops them both. You know, one thing about this San Antonio team, they just didn't go away last year. Pop himself said he felt they peaked in the 2014 finals.
You know, and you wonder if what Pop said is true. Spurs lost in the first round last year, and they'll be going through a lot of changes in the near future. And with the way they run that organization, they'll still be competing, I believe, for quite some time.
And here is Jack. Kawhi Leonard getting his 3 to go. And it's good. Jack's got it all tied up now for Brooklyn.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Now here's Mills. 7-second difference, shot and game clock. And Diaw kicks to Leonard. Diaw with the screen on Young. Out to Parker. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. 12 points for Tony Parker.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
And Jack kicks to Bargnani. With 1 on the clock. And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. It's San Antonio. They lead by 3. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Thank you, Kevin. Coach, you haven't seen much work put in off the bench thus far. When we see that second unit after the break, what are you hoping to see from them?
I just want to have a semblance of motion so that they know where they're going and the ball moves. They don't play in a crowd. Just basically see if they know what they're doing.
We'll see, Coach. Thanks for the time. Guys.
Thanks so much, Doris, and we'll step away briefly, but get you right back in there for the start of the third quarter after this break.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We welcome you to the halftime show on 2K Sports. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. The game was always within a fairly narrow margin, with their largest deficit of the period being 6. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, their playmakers were in top form tonight. They showed great court vision and great ball movement. That's why they had so many assists. It's much easier to defend guys who don't want to pass the basketball.
And over to Shaq. What do you think about Brooklyn?
They're giving up way too many good looks. You want to keep your opponent under 50% shooting? They have not done that. What's the solution? Maybe more ball pressure, more physicality down low. Whatever it is, Ernie, they need to figure it out.
And that's it for halftime, as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. It's been a clinic from Tony Parker.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
On the floor for San Antonio, Parker and Green are the guard pairing. Kawhi Leonard is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Duncan in at the 5, roaming the paint. Nets trail by 5. For a long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big 3, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big 3 recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely. 3 on the clock. Jack. It's rebounded by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Green with the ball. And it's Johnson picking him up. Green kicks to Aldridge. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Took the opportunity when he saw it. 15 points for Tony Parker.
And guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big 3, but to think of himself as the big 1.
Well, clearly he's got some nice moves in his bag of tricks. But where's the finish? You got to get the result.
And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Here's Aldridge. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 4 assists in the game.
And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach greatness. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team. And look, rightfully disappointed with how they played here over the course of this run.
Yeah, you know, they haven't looked good at all here lately. Something has to change for him, and we'll see what he's got coming out of the timeout.
Here's Jack. He's got 12. Lopez a screen. Brown against Green. Up top, Brown. Clock at 6. To end the run. And again, no good by Brooklyn.
And out of the gates here in this second half, they have not started well. 0 of 3.
Tipped away. And now in transition is Jack. Here we go. And the layup falls. Jack's got 14 points.
Finally, they get one to drop. That's one of their first 4 here in the third.
Nets were the hottest team and story a few years back, certainly. But last season, they were put up for sale. Surprisingly to some, Clark, midway through the year.
Yeah, that was odd timing given the new arena and rebranding. I mean, you would think after all that effort to rebuild the team, you would see it through.
And for the Nets being put up for sale, a big part of it was they were a team that was supposed to compete for titles. And since the move to Brooklyn, they have had trouble going deep in the playoffs.
Checked in for Jarrett Jack. And San Antonio with the change here, too. Manu Ginobili, he's checked in for Leonard. Green in the post. He's covered by Brown.
Even with that miss, they're shooting 75% coming out of the break. That's a strong start to the half.
Now Johnson. He's got 8. Shot clock at 5. Fires from 14. The shot no good. Solid defense there from Ginobili.
Tell you what, shooting 20% to start the second half doesn't bode well for how this will play out for this squad.
Aldridge a screen. Off the pick. San Antonio again missing. Nets trail by 8. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
And the shot is good from Johnson.
You know, obviously, he knows how to finish with some flair.
San Antonio's gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game. It's Parker with the drive.
And so last season for Tony Parker, somewhat of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assist and points per game totals since his rookie year. But he fought through like the champion that he is.
Here's Lopez. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a three-point play.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
So for the Nets, Bargnani comes in for Young, and Bogdanovich is subbed in for Markel Brown. Then for the Spurs, West is checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Parker. Last year, a big challenge for Tony Parker. He was in his 14th season, obviously. Every great player needs to transform his game as he gets on in age. Clark, we've seen it with the great ones. Parker did put up the highest three-point percentage of his career last year.
And he also ran the offense with tremendous poise and professionalism and cut down the turnover average as well, the lowest of his career.
Here's Bogdanovich. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Here's Johnson. Does not score for only the second time in 7 shots this game. And here's Mills from the arc. Bargnani grabs the ball. Nets trail by 3. Johnson outside. Comes up empty off the pick.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Ginobili kicks it to West. And here's Mills for 3. The shot no good.
Yeah, but the defense was determined not to give him an inch of free space.
Bogdanovich, no luck. Spurs leading by 3. Over in the corner, Green. And 1:01 left to play here in the third. Pick by West. Ginobili, that's for 2. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper. Ginobili's got his first points in this one. Pass to Bogdanovich. Green against Johnson. Kicks to Bargnani. The rebound by the Spurs. They've led by as much as 10. And now the fast break, Ginobili with the ball.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game time. Joe Johnson on the wing. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Fires from 14. That one's good. The San Antonio lead is cut down now to just 5 on the bucket from Bargnani.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it.
And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Spurs lead by 5. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started.
On your face for no good reason at all. We in a bad place. Hip-hop is separated by the night.
Nets trail by 5. We've got Brown. Bargnani is out there with Robinson. And it's Young. And it's Jack in at the 1 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Brown dishes to Bargnani. Outside Jack. Back to Bargnani. Shoots from the baseline, and he didn't get quite enough under that one. Spurs leading by 5. Leonard kicks to Aldridge. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 5 assists tonight.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight. And that lead pass allowed him to get straight to the rim unabated in stride.
Ginobili kicks to Parker. Oh, that's blocked. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
It's Brown on the wing. He's covered by Ginobili. Young against Leonard. There's a screen by Robinson. Shot clock at 6. Jack for 3. Again, the miss by Jack. San Antonio leading by 5. Here's Parker. 18 feet away, and he knocks it down.
He's their go-to guy, and when he shoots the ball like he has today, that's what the scoreboard usually looks like.
Bargnani is screen on Leonard. Jack passes to Bargnani. He used that pick to get in close.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
All right, now, I want everyone here at the Barclays Center to welcome to the court. Go Nets dancers!
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He was absolutely adamant, saying, don't let them off the hook. Let's keep our foot on the pedal and keep doing the things that have gotten us here this far. We're almost home.
Johnson, he's checked in for Brooklyn. Parker outside. Duncan down low. Robinson on him. Shoots from the elbow. No good off the front iron.
Yeah, great look, but disappointing with the miss.
Boy, what happened on that one, Greg? I mean, that's almost an automatic shot for him.
Johnson dishes to Young. Nice work there coming off the screen. Now it's just a 3-point Spurs lead.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Spurs leading by 3. Ginobili up top. It's tipped. And Leonard has it in the corner. And it's good on the assist by Parker. And that's now 10 points for Leonard.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Here's Jack. Good for basket number 7 tonight on a not-so-unlucky 13 shots.
Just no resistance inside at all. They are feasting. This is a straight buffet.
It is. It's a big one. And load the plate.
Yeah, exactly. It sure is. Plenty of second opportunities. 8 of their last 10 points from the paint, but the defense still continues to back away and not show any aggressiveness.
And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard. And Brooklyn making a change here. Lopez is checked in. Green, he's checked in for San Antonio. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, but you have to love that tough interior defense.
And, Greg, that's exactly what he gives you. I mean, he's constantly making his presence felt around the rim.
Green, the screen. The wide open look here for Aldridge. Another one falls for San Antonio.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
And Jack kicks to Lopez. Shoots from 8. And he gets that one to go off the front iron.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
And really something that the defense has to address.
Jack against Parker. He feeds it to Aldridge. And he banks in the layup. And the Spurs lead by 7.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Look at Tony Parker. What a contribution.
We need to make some adjustments because he's absolutely scorching.
Checked in for Brooklyn. Outside Jack. And there's the pass to Lopez. That's another one for him. His 5th in just 7 shots.
Yeah, great post position. That's going to be key here in crunch time.
Spurs leading by 5. We've got 1:23 left in the 4th. Parker against Jack. It's Parker with the drive. Got a hand on it. Now here is Jack. Johnson outside. Now the feed to Lopez. And out of bounds as San Antonio gains possession.
A temporary lapse of focus from him on that turnover. It's embarrassing, but on occasion it does happen.
The Spurs have gone 6 of 12 from the field here in the 4th and even 50%. Parker kicks to Aldridge. From around Jay. And good. Got the friendly bounce off the right side of the rim. And the Spurs lead by 7.
He wasn't able to get his name in the score sheet in the first half. But he looks like he's starting to find his comfort zone here.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Brooklyn Nets.
Puts it up off the inbound. No good from Jack.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that one.
Parker passes to Green. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. And now a 9-point San Antonio lead. And here are the Nets. Feeds it to Ellington. The tray. And a great assist by Jack as that one goes in.
Nice stroke from long range, and if he keeps getting those opportunities, he better take them.
And so they choose to intentionally foul. A big group substitution here for Brooklyn. Bargnani is checked in for Lopez. Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. Bogdanovich is checked in for Joe Johnson. And it's Larkin in for Jarrett Jack. And so they foul intentionally.
That's his first personal foul. Shooting. Patty Mills. 2 shots.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Good on the first, and that makes it a 7-point lead. And a tough break is his second attempt at the line. No good.
I think it's safe to say this baby's over.
Yeah, that's fairly obvious. I'd say that's a really good assumption on your part.
Aldridge dishes to Leonard. Aldridge kicks to Mills. And so it's San Antonio with the win. A truly gutsy performance away from home.
You know, it really was. And, Kevin, when this one was hanging in the balance late, they showed just what a tough-minded group they can be.
And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Guys, I'm here with Tony Parker. And, Tony, there was an intensity to the way this team played. Were you guys amped up?
We were motivated tonight. You know, today we were on a mission. We want to make a statement, and we played great basketball, great ball movement. Everybody wasn't selfish. We shot the ball a lot better, and we played great defense.
Statement delivered, mission accomplished. Nice win, Tony. Guys, back to you.
All right, Doris, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. See you later.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Tony Parker. He showed the composure and cleverness that only a longtime veteran could possess. A vintage performance from a very savvy player.
Tony Parker is putting on a show. The Sabone Assassin does it again. Man, see, he started out as a traditional one guard, bringing the ball up, getting to the backfield. But now, the team leans on him.
Overall, just a rock-solid outing for him. It's hard to point to any one area of the game because he was so good on both ends of the floor. He was dialed in defensively, and that helped carry the intensity on offense.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.